We already know that the new Volkswagen Passat is a very good car indeed, but here in the UK, Volkswagen actually sells more estates than it does saloons. Yet with a car market now awash with attention-grabbing SUVs of all shapes and sizes, has the Passat got what it takes to remain the default choice for family buyers who put space and comfort at the top of the agenda? Often, the problem with designing a big, boxy estate is that grafting that shape onto the back of a curvy or swoopy design usually looks quite awkward and ungainly. The Passat, though, was designed by a man with a ruler and a pencil, and all those straight lines and squared off edges mean that actually I think it looks better as an estate than it does as a saloon car. Now, I will admit, it's kind of an understated design overall. If you're looking for your car to express some deep facet of your personality, this probably isn't the one for you. Every single car comes with alloy wheels, regardless of which trim you choose, and as you can see, it sits quite high up on its arches here. Entry-level cars do miss out on some styling goodies, like the chrome window surrounds and these silver roof rails, and those smart front fog lights that you've seen are only standard on SE business models. But all in all, the Passat is not a car that changes a great deal depending which model you choose. Even the top of the range R-Line versions are subtle rather than shouty. Having said that, they do get some rather cool trapezoidal exhausts at the back, which make it look a bit like an Audi A6 Avant. Inside, just like the Passat saloon, it's hard to overstate just what a big step up in quality this car is over its previous generation. The cabin is full of soft touch plastics and there's lots of nice metallic finishes, and cleverly the brand has avoided using too much gloss black material. It smudges really easily and takes fingerprints, so the Passat won't get dirty and it will look cleaner for longer inside. Combine this quality with the standard fit 6.5-inch touchscreen which declutters the dash, and you're a long step ahead of the Ford Mondeo and the Vauxhall Insignia estate in terms of quality and interior fit and finish. In fact, the Passat estate could probably give some of its premium rivals a run for its money. The front seats are really comfortable and supportive. VW call them ergo comfort seats, but there's loads of adjustability and an electric backrest on SE versions and above. However, like any estate worth its salt, the Passat also has practicality in spades. There's oodles of legroom here in the back, as you can see, and because this high roof extends all the way back to meet the boot, there's more headroom for tall passengers as well, especially more than you get on the saloon. The best bit though is the gigantic boot. If I open it up, then you can probably see just how deep and how wide the 650-litre load bay is. It's also got these very clever handles here on the sides, which with a one push means you can drop the rear seat backs with just one hand. That's not something you can do on a Ford Mondeo estate. The thing about having an estate car this size though is that on a filming day we can carry all our gear, and I'm now going to show you just how much you can fit in and still have room to spare. Most estates are sold with diesel engines under the bonnet, and the Passat, fortunately for itself, has 3 excellent oil burners to choose from to suit all tastes. The entry-level 1.6 litre TDI has 118 brake horsepower, and if you choose the automatic DSG gearbox, then it'll also return a very impressive 104 grams per kilometre, so it'll be very cheap to run too. The engine in this car, well, that's the 2-litre mid-range, 148 brake horsepower, but it's got more than enough torque to pull you along, no matter how many big heavy bags you've loaded into that enormous boot. And at the top of the range, there's a new 2-litre bi-TDI engine. That means twin turbos for a faintly ridiculous power output of 237 brake horsepower. Now, to cope with that, it's also got 4-wheel drive, and it only comes with the automatic gearbox as standard. You probably don't need that much power though, still you will certainly surprise a few people away from the lights. It's an excellent motorway cruiser, and the controls are all light but really positive, so it's just a relaxing car to drive over long distances. The ride is really comfortable, especially on versions with the smaller alloy wheels. It's nice and cushioned no matter how bumpy the road surface gets. It's also actually surprisingly manoeuvrable. Even though it's a very long car, it's quite narrow, which means you can squeeze into the tightest gaps without too much trouble. You don't worry about kind of catching the mirrors on anything like you might do in rival cars like, for example, the Ford Mondeo. Overall, refinement is also hugely impressive. Engine, road and wind noise are completely well suppressed, and there's actually also an option to choose double glazing for the windows, which makes it even quieter still. If you plan on towing anything behind your Passat estate, and I'm sure some of you probably do, then this 2-litre TDI engine is definitely your best bet. It can nearly match the economy and low CO2 emissions of the 1.6, as long as you stick with a manual gearbox, but it'll also tow up to 2 tons worth of brake trailer behind it, which is very handy. And it also has a neat pop-out towing eye, which just comes out electronically from underneath the rear bumper. It's a very neat solution to a simple problem. The petrols, well, they are more refined than the diesels by a margin, but we think the economy gains and the pulling power of the diesel probably make them the better choice, particularly with the estate body style. On the surface, the Passat estate is every inch the sensible choice. It's comfortable rather than thrilling to drive, beautifully made and incredibly easy to live with. Some might call that boring, but personally I think if you've bought one of these, you'll spend most of your time driving around with the smug satisfaction that comes with owning one of the very best estate cars on sale.